So yeah, man. I mean, it was cool to watch the Artemis mission, take off and come back down, and see that stuff that our parents saw from the couches and stuff like that, and get to live it. I remember watching all that stuff as a kid when it was the shuttle program.
So. Oh, definitely so. Yeah, I have no problem admitting whatsoever that I was a space nerd growing up. Always wanted to see a space shuttle launch. Never got to see one though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Americans step back on the foot of the moon again, or on the surface of the moon again. I think it's going to be an incredible time, and to be able to witness like what you're talking about, that parents and grandparents, something that they got to witness, I think it's going to be something pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Well, and we can finally decide whether the moon is actually real or not. If space actually exists or something like that. So.
Yeah, that one, again, I've said it before. I don't care if I hurt feelings with this one, but if you deny any of that, whether we walked on the face of the moon or the fact that space exists or something like that, with the absolute just insurmountable amount of evidence that there is, and you still deny it, if you buy into that, I got a bridge to sell.
Well, you can't win them all. They're all, somebody's got to sit on their couch and be a keyboard warrior and not really experience much of life. So, teach their own.
Yeah. I guess a bubble can be fun to live in.
I mean, these got to be the same people that are flat earthers. They have to be. Have to be.
The thing that always gets me about that whole debate, whether it be flat earth or moon landing or anything, is they always talk that it's this conspiracy, that it's this whether it be governmental or some cabal that controls the government that's not wanting to release this information, especially whenever it comes to flat earth. If the earth was flat, like, why would that be a closely guarded secret?
I just that's always funny to me whenever it comes to that stuff, because we as an industry, the monument industry, can't keep secrets amongst itself. And so we're supposed to believe that like 70 different governments, world governments, and their agencies within that can keep secrets like that. I just no.
Right. Well, and sadly, it doesn't matter the amount of proof that you put in their face, because even the astronauts that were on the Artemis mission, some of them took pictures with their phones out the window of Earth, and they'll say, well, that's an enhanced image, or AI can do that. Well, if you're just never going to believe it, then just
it's not true. I've tried to get AI to make some images and it won't make them.
Did I send you that video the other day of what it's like talking to AI? And
yes.
I have this sandwich.
Mark literally brought that up to me today. Coming back from lunch, he literally brought that same conversation up. It was hilarious. So I couldn't remember if it was him or you that sent it to me. I said, I think it was Austin. That's hilarious. Oh, hey, we're recording. Sorry about that. Somebody hit record. That was fun. So episode 53.
Yes,
I think it is. Is that right?
Yes, we are at 53. I made sure to double check this time.
It could be 54. I'm running out of fingers and toes for this, but nevertheless, we're having a good time. So, but not a lot going on around here other than they say spring showers, and the problem is I don't use this much water when I shower. It can, at least my shower can drain faster than what this is, what we're seeing here. So
there you go.
It's a muddy mess.
So you're going to have Mrs. Williams headstone set Monday?
Yeah, we're going to use a Piro, and we had a lady, and so we'll use the name Williams on this one as well, just because we've already used it. Prominent individual in town passed away last year. A good individual in the community, and did a lot for everybody around here. And so it was a real sad deal, just heart attack. got them. You know. Well, the widow comes in, and we start talking to her in December, give her price and design and things like that. Mid to late January, she approves the design for the monument, or no, approves the monument, purchase it and all that. Still hadn't approved the design. And then we get to middle of March, and she finally, or just before the middle of March, it had been like the 7th or 10th or something like that. And she finally signs the approval, the drawing approval.
Needs it done now. She's ready.
Well, there's a day here in College Station that so like everybody's got Memorial Day real big around the country. Here it's Aggie Muster, and it's April 21st. So she wanted to get it. She goes, well, she would call us every week. When's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? Ma'am, you just signed everything here. When's it going to be ready? Like, ma'am, it takes time. It's got to get put in line, all this other stuff. Well, we had it ready, and she's flipping out. Well, I need it in by muster. No, ma'am. You signed documents saying you understood that it was going to be in by a certain time, and that's not what we're doing. You know, that's not how we do this. We charge an expedite fee for this, and she's flipping out and all this. Well, it had been raining as well, so man, it was one of those where I bit the bullet and got it in because I was just tired of, listening to the phone calls and got it out. So, yeah, but such is how this is. You get it. Everybody wants it tomorrow.
Yep.
So the quality of work you're showing me there is absolutely chef's kiss.
Yeah, that's.
I just want to tell y'all. Look, I tend to know we know most of the groups of people that listen. We're very grateful for our listeners. What I can say is we're very fortunate to know that our listeners are not the types of people to put out images of mediocre work.
I'll agree with that.
And I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like that is anything close to mediocre.
I think the easiest way to put it is some people's obsession with white lithochrome is scary.
Yeah. So
it is. Redheaded stepchild of the monument world, in my opinion.
I don't understand. Maybe it's there's a lot of stuff that's been going on lately where you see a lot of different posts, and I'll even, for that matter, I've had to remove a couple of posts this week from monument builders because they were advertisements from somebody who, trying to. It was somebody trying to elicit more business, and I sat there and had to remove it. They scroll back up. What was that one? I know exactly where that stone is. Oh wait, no. This is a different one. Yep, I know that. I don't know where that one is. But yeah, I mean the.
Oh, that was a hand etching.
It was a hand etching. And so
good hand
this is so for those of y'all who are listening, because you're not recording video because you don't need to see anything. This is one of those cutout etchings where the silhouette of the individual is raised above the top of the stone and it's etched. And I hate those things. They're creepy. They're not. I don't know. It's not that exciting. I don't like them. I don't think I've seen one that I've liked at all. But I will say this is probably one of the best hand etchings I've seen on this one.
Well, especially the way they nailed the halftones.
Yep.
The shading is perfect.
Yep.
Good job. I'll actually call them out. It's from Summit Memorials. So
yeah,
go check their page out. They've got it posted on there, I think, or it's in the Monument Builders Forum at the moment. But
yeah,
That's good work.
No, yeah, that they nailed that. That was really well done. But no, I see a lot of stuff that gets posted and shared a lot, and like I said, I had to remove one because of solicitation. And it's one thing to like, hey, I'm selling our tools. We're trying to, which I've allowed that, and I've allowed over the years suppliers and wholesalers and whatnot to post images of things they're proud of that they've recently done or worked with their customers or those kind of things, just to kind of say, hey, look what we've done. It's not a promotion of, hey, we're selling a bunch of these at highly discounted. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, hey, we're running a special, and then it gets out of control. But if they come out and they go, hey, man, guys, we're really proud of this particular product that's come out or whatever, man, that's cool. I'm down for that. I think it gets information out. But I've seen a lot of this just random post stuff. All that to say, I've had this mindset for a really long time that it's not that I can't ask a dumb question, because I can certainly ask a dumb question. But you know what I do is when I ask a dumb question, I go to a individual privately instead of it being a public forum for everybody to know I'm asking a stupid question. It's one thing for you or Ross at Keystone, or pick whoever it is I'm calling, to know that Aaron Fainley, to know I'm asking a really stupid question. It's another thing for everybody to know that I've asked that particular really dumb thing. Well,
even to add to that, because I have the same mindset, I'm going to call somebody like you or Ross or Aaron or whatever. I guess we all kind of have we have the same Rolodex of people that we talk to. But
what's a Rolodex?
Well, it's from ancient times. But I'm going to, like, if I call you and you pick up, you're going to say, like, what's up? And I'll be like, hey, dumb question. But
Yep. Yeah. No, it's I don't mind the dumb question, because I feel like the dumb question helps you learn something, but I don't want people to outright go, no, he's a moron. Certain things keep private. So,
yep.
But yeah, you're not going to stop them all. So, but no, I mean, there's been some crazy things going on. Around here, of course, it's been raining nonstop, but did have a couple of realizations through some of the stuff that we'd seen through Facebook. And I'm not going to sit here and berate anybody by any stretch on this. I berated people a second ago, but like I had made this comment about my grandmother's vase having been stolen. And I was very appreciative of the information that was coming back, because I was getting information, but it wasn't the information I was searching for. I was literally just asking if anybody still produced Salisbury pink vases turned.
Well, and I think I had heard that hadn't something happened with the Salisbury pink quarry.
Yeah, it's closed, and there's still some pieces that are out there or whatever. They're hard to find. I came up with enough to complete my great-great-grandparents' marker, and then however many aunts that is. It would have been my great-great-grandmother's sisters that passed away for their marker, because my great-grandmother's marker is also Salisbury pink, as well as my grandmother's. So we've kind of used the color. My dad really liked it because it was a soft pink, and that was my great-grandmother's favorite.
You're right.
So I came up with enough for that, but now that the bronze vase has been stolen, I know where the monument is, and it's not necessarily in the best of areas for protecting those kind of things. I guess the best way to put it is bronze on granite sections in that particular part of town is not the wisest thing. So, because they seem to they seem to have more life than the people that they represent.
Yeah.
So,
which I wonder that somebody that Of course, you have to be a terrible human being to go into a cemetery and steal anything, but like what's the value of that vase to them? Like what I know it's going to be melt value, but what are they getting for that?
I don't know the numbers lately, but I do remember at one point in time it was like what are the vase prices now? $450.
Yeah, for bronze vase is about, let's see here. As of mid-April, the average bronze scrap price in the U.S. is approximately $3.30 a pound.
Yeah, it's you're gonna get $12, $9. So
that's a hell of a bet to make whenever you could potentially receive a bullet for it.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but actually, I think the scrap yards can't take the vases themselves anymore, so they've got to tear them up and melt them down. So
it might be a wash for them.
Yeah. So what we ended up doing is we have what I came up with this plan, and I know what I want to do, and I want to basically replace the bronze vase with a granite vase. And people are going to say it's not possible, but you and I have talked over what my plan is, which I don't want to reveal it until I get it switched out. You know what my plan is.
Yes.
Feasible?
1,000%.
So I think it's going to do better. It's I don't think somebody's going to put the effort into stealing it at that point in time anymore. Once I've got it done. Just because it's not worth it. There's no value there anymore. So
you're right.
All that to say, that's what I was chasing. And I saw a lot of people just kind of giving their own little answers. Oh, that's from Granite Bronze, or that's from da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, that's not what I was asking. That was just a little. If you read it a little further, you'll know. So, and I mean, I appreciate the input, but that was input was not valuable, I guess. So, but yeah, I think that kind of goes a long way with trying to get people to realize that you read the whole thing, and this goes to like your other stuff, right? What you're doing in your office? Are you paying attention to your emails well? Are you reading through all the details and stuff? And kind of like, how interested are you in the whole story? So that I'll kind of lead into this, which is the other thing we were going to talk about. We had an event this last weekend I talked to you about, which was Tuesday. This past Tuesday was Kylie's birthday. She is now 12. And for her birthday, she wanted to redecorate her room. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Are we talking furniture? What is it? And she wanted to paint her room. Okay. I hate painting. I don't like to paint. I don't want to paint.
No, never.
Not interested in ever painting again. I was coerced or bamboozled or duped. I'm running out of thesaurus words to get the point. No, I was convinced to do the repaint, but in the midst of it, I kind of had the realization that I don't know if everyone in my house knows why I don't like to paint. And in thinking through it, I'd actually discussed it with Emily a little bit, and so, but in thinking through it, I realized what it was. It was that when I started this business and went full time, so this would have been 2009. I think is when I started the business in 2006. In 2009, I'd gone full time. So in order to kind of make ends meet and just make any kind of money, I was doing odd little jobs. Well, we knew a home builder that Mark and I is Mark's father-in-law. We would do odd jobs for him in the meantime while we were starting both of our businesses. And he would hire us to go paint. whether it's a porch or a shed, or you pick whatever it was, right?
Right.
And we painted. I would go out there and we would paint for a week. And at the end of the week, after painting all week long, I would net $100. And it was just rough. And we're talking heat of the summer, cold of the winter, I just rain, all kinds of just stupid stuff. I remember one of them, we were painting this guy's sunroom, and the guy kept coming out because he was retired. He kept coming out to the porch while we were doing it. And he would call us Picasso and Rembrandt. It pissed me off. And then I would see the guy at church, and he would still say it, like years down the road, and it would bring it back. So like, it was stuff that like I realized later, like whenever in doing this, that I've gone through the mire of doing that junk, and I don't want to do it again because I've worked myself from nothing. And I'm not sitting here trying to toot my own horn. It's just that there's certain levels of things that I have said for a while that even in my own shop at this point in time, I will not do these tasks. Right. I will do just about anything here. I'm not painting anything, and I'm not cleaning the toilet. I'll take the trash out. I'll sweep the floors. Don't care. I think I've gotten myself to a place where I'm not doing those things.
Right.
You know? So all that to say is, like, where have you come from? What did your start look like? How did, some people, and I'm not going to sit there and berate anybody's start and how they got there, how they got to where they are. And I don't think any of them's necessarily bad. It's just the path that they had in front of them.
Right.
Whether it's like you, who sold your farm that you'd been working on forever, and then decided to, I guess in a momentary lapse of judgment, decide, hey, this is a better idea to start a monument shop. Or, whoever, somebody gets investors, or somebody who's bought one out. I don't know. And I don't really care. I say I don't care. What I mean is I don't care the path. The stories are interesting, and they're good to take home, and they're good to learn from for everybody. So I do enjoy hearing the stories of how they got there. But I do know that I remember the effects. I remember going through the hard times and the really rough times. And there's certain parts of the history that of going through that I'm like, I can relive it mentally and think about it and whatnot, but I don't want to physically relive any of that. So, it is certainly nice to have a crane and not have to wheel the stones off the back of a trailer anymore.
Yeah, and that's one of those. Of course, I'm fortunate that whenever I started out, I started with a crane, so I hadn't paid my penance in that way that
right
somebody like yourself has. But that's one thing, is that you, of course, from where you started to where you're at now, that you're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things, is pushing, trying to push your business to where you can acquire those certain things. And then, just like from a little Facebook conversation we was talking about a little while ago, whenever you do have those things, know how to use those things.
Mm-hmm.
Just ownership does not mean that you know what you're doing.
Down to this, we talk about that. And of course, I worked when we were at MBNA at the workshop. I helped out with the rigging side of things, and kind of showing some stuff over there. I wandered around a little bit, but I kind of really helped out over there. And I can do rigging. And if anybody was there, they noticed I didn't run the crane. That doesn't mean I can't run that crane. Allegedly. But I didn't run the crane because I don't run that crane as often as Desmond. Mm-hmm. He runs that crane daily and is really smooth with it. Now, we have a rule here in the shop, and this is one of the things I give Desmond autonomy in, and he can come and hold me to the fire on something. And what he's allowed to do is, as long as I'm not knee deep in something, he is allowed to come pull me aside and say, come on, you need to come run the crane. Well, at least once a month. And what it's designed to do is for me to go out there and remember all the steps to start up the truck and get the crane running, all of the functions of all the controls, how gentle the controls are, all of that. And it's constant just practice and run through it. So I'm not the guy who just sits in a chair in here and doesn't go out and do that, because if everything goes to crap, that truck is paid for, the crane's paid for, I've still got an operating piece of equipment.
Right.
I can go out there and run it myself.
Correct.
You know, and that's really what this comes down to, is the practice of knowing. So, but inside that, I know what my crane will lift at what points in time, at what distances, how to lift it, you know, because I've got a knuckle boom. You can't just, you can just reach straight out, but it's straight out, it's 1,500 pounds, you know, at 25 feet. However, it's way more effective if I can get closer. There's no reason for me to be that extended. There's no reason for me to put that much strain on the hydraulics. It's not necessary, because, well, it goes, oh, it'll lift 1,500 pounds. It's the additional load is 1,500 pounds. The full load, when I have it on the hydraulics, the full load is equivalent to me lifting 7,000 pounds at the truck.
Yes.
And that's where people kind of misunderstand how that stuff works. It's the same thing with a forklift. What do your forklift do? What do your chisel do? Your sandblast pot, your compressor. All of these things are important to know how they work.
Yeah, it's important to know how they work, and then also how to know how to operate them to increase the longevity of them. Because just like you said, with yours at 26 foot, it'll do 1,500 pounds, 1,800 pounds, something like that. That, yes, technically, is it capable of it? Should you do it? No.
Why am I lifting? There's no reason to be lifting 1,500 pounds 25 feet away from the truck.
Oh, man, I can only imagine the amount of deflection there would be in the boom. That would be just scary as hell to look at.
The bounce on it.
And that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is just, and it doesn't really matter at what distance you're lifting at, what your crane can do. Let's say that if you are extended all the way out and you have a guy that is pushing the limit of what it can do, if he lifts it and then abruptly stops it, the shock on the boom overloads that boom. And a lot of people don't take into account for that. And another thing, a lot of people, they don't pay attention to like they should, is just basic hydraulic safety. And I've drilled it into my guys' heads that if that crane is extended out, I don't care if there's anything on it, you do not walk underneath it, you walk around it. Even though my crane has the I forgot what they're called, it's on top of the valve stack, and I imagine your crane has them too, that it doesn't allow a rapid loss in pressure, that it will leak it down. But again,
I don't know what it's called, but in oil industry, that for drilling, they have what they call a BOP, a blowout preventer. And if they've, which is part of like what failed at the one out there in the Gulf, but it's a BOP literally pinches off the line of the pipe so that nothing bleeds through, and it would be kind of a similar concept.
Yeah, it just redirects the flow, just so it is not an open flow. That if there's a sudden surge in pressure like that, that it'll bypass it to where it will allow it to leak down. But again, that's something that I wouldn't trust my life on it.
Exactly.
And especially coming from the farming side of things, I've seen hydraulics fail. And whenever something hydraulic wants to fail that has been extended, it's not like, hey, here's a little sound, get ready for this. Hey, everybody watch out. No, it's like it's up and then it's down. And anything underneath it, better hope you didn't want it to be alive.
Yeah, think of it like when a helicopter fails. You kind of know, hey, there's a failure. It's a failure, but it's happening rapidly, and there's no stopping it. You're not going. It's going to go down.
Right. It'll come down. Of course, a helicopter, you can auto rotate it down, but I guess a more accurate term for that is going to be a controlled crash, because you're still going to come down. And it's, of course, I grew up flying, not in a helicopter, but in a single engine airplane. And my granddad used to take me flying all the time. And he asked me one time, he said, "You know what that big fan does on the front of the airplane?" And I said, "Well, doesn't it like propel the airplane?" And he said, No. He said, "It's a big fan to keep me cool." He said, "Because if it stops spinning, I start sweating."
Oh, yeah. It's that actually reminds me of the bumper sticker I told you about earlier.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah. It said, what was it? Something like keep calm, or, geez, I should have taken a picture of it.
Like, don't worry or something. Or...
Yeah. Something like keep calm. It only gets worse.
Yep.
So it's, there's a lot to, I mean, owning a business or running a business and in any aspect of where you're at inside the business, right? Whether you're outside in the shop, you're inside in the office. It's why I've encouraged people to go to these educational things. It's why I've really been kind of a stickler on showing up to the different conventions and showing up to the shop seminars and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what's the old adage that they gave us whenever we were in school? It's knowledge is power, right? Or the more you know. Remember those an NBC thing? The more you know.
Yeah, the little star that goes across, and
the more information you have, the more dangerous you are. And I don't mean you're dangerous to your somebody's safety. You're actually more dangerous as a business owner to your competitors with more information.
Yes.
And so it's not bad things. And to sit there and kind of go, "Hey, I know everything." I've for years been going to these conventions, and I mean, I've been in business now. This is year 23. No, excuse me, not 23. I've been in the industry 23 years. This is year 20. We started in 2006. So in 20 years, I've been going to these conventions for 23 years because I worked at Swan. In that amount of time, I have met people who've been in this business, grown up in it, have worked in it for 50 years and still go to those conventions.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still learning. And it is one of those things where you go and you get yourself the proper information. So it can't hurt for you to send your people to go to these things and have them learn. Janine's going to the Southern Monument Builders workshop at Cold Spring in June. I'm scheduled to go. We'll see how that goes. Our schedule is kind of fluid right this second.
Same here.
But she's scheduled to go, and she's going to get to take the tour and see how all that stuff looks, and get a better education on the process of how they produce their stones there.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of that is it becomes a whole different animal whenever she's gone out there and can see the process of this stuff from start to finish, and when she's talking to a customer.
Yes.
Now she's been to Elberton and did the new retailer workshop there and got to tour those plants, but it's I've seen a bunch of different plants, and it's good to see more than one.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of things are super valuable. We've had a couple of people ask us about the new retailer workshop in Elberton. I've had some folks up in that are new members ask about it the other day, and said, "Man, you got to go. It's worth it." And I think they're pulling the trigger on that. I'm actually sending Abby in October to go check it out. So all of that stuff only puts more ammo in your belt.
Yep.
I can't think of why you would want to. I get it. There's expenses to it, but there's expenses to everything. maybe cut back on something else. If funds are tight, cut back on something else and go, because I think you're going to find that in the end, you're going to have more value long term.
Yes.
Well,
anything, especially going to those courses and conventions and things like that, like you said, obviously there is an expense to it, but you have to view it from the mindset that it's an investment in what you're doing. And you have to be continuously learning, because the moment you say you don't need to, congratulations, you're the first person I've ever met that's got it figured out then.
Yeah. I mean, you are then the individual who knows all of it, and that actually may be more dangerous to yourself than it is to your competitors.
Yeah.
I can't understand why you would be satisfied with that information just being sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you've succeeded once or twice, and so that doesn't make you the hero all the time. I still ask questions, and we still run ideas by people. Heck, I've got a giant stone out front. I don't know if I sent you pictures of it. I did actually. I posted it. I didn't share it with you. Somebody was asking about large panels, porcelain panels, a couple weeks ago or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
I posted a picture of the large one that Tanner did for us. And what you can't see is, because I'm kind of standing on that stone. That stone is a 3.0 by 08 by 10.0, which means that flag that is there is 7 foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that porcelain is 8 foot. I'm sorry, 8 foot. That's stupid. It's 4 foot tall. So the key to this is man, that stone's going to weigh a crap ton. It weighs 5,000 pounds. I know what it weighs because I saw the deal. But I have to stand it up. It's a 10-foot tall stone. I got to stand up.
Simple.
Yeah.
And just get your long slings and just pick up.
Yeah. So I've got ways to do it, and I've got a method that we're going to use to pick it up. But there's other things that I'm going to try as well. One is it's going to go down in a hole. It's not getting pinned standing up. It's going to sit down in a recess. Mm-hmm. It's 3 foot deep.
Yeah.
So it's too public of a product for me to comfortably put out there for people to walk around and climb on. So, but yeah, I asked a lot of questions before I even sold that.
Mm-hmm.
Can this be done? How do I put it down?
Well,
knowing where it goes here, I'll show you because we can share screens like we've been doing off and on in this episode.
Right.
And nobody else gets to see stuff. So that's fun. But
I'd be afraid if everybody saw my open tabs.
Why, Austin?
It's like that. What's that one guy on Instagram and TikTok? The one that shows you powerful websites you may not have known about.
I love that. Yeah.
And then he always has a tab open that makes no sense at all.
Oh my gosh. All right. So look, here's the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
Right. That 10-foot tall stone has to go down this walk path, make this turn, and it's getting installed right here.
That's no big deal.
There's also a statue there. Let's see if is there a.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Right where you need to go. It's a good thing there's no trees.
It goes over here.
Okay.
So you can't see that statue. That statue's got to come out, and it goes behind the statue.
Okay.
So, luckily, it's not under a drip edge, so I know I'm not going to kill any trees, and I'm not going to mess anything up. But it's going to be a chore.
Yeah.
So, it may be one that I try that Alan Kent lifting technique on.
Oh, yes. Even though I would, you couldn't drive a 10-penny nail into me with a 10-pound shop sledge doing that, but apparently it works.
Yeah, I've watched it work. I've got a couple other jobs that I know I can try it with for sure, and be much more safe about. So
Yeah, especially whenever it's going to be something that's not going to be visible ever.
right,
That makes a lot of sense to do.
yeah. So
But
we'll
again, that's
see.
those are things you can learn if you decide to come to conventions and seminars and things like
Mhm.
that. And one of the reasons I say that it's never going to lose importance is just scroll through any of the Facebook pages on any given day. I guarantee you somebody is asking a question in there that a lot of us would just deem as common knowledge, but it it's potentially that person's first time to ever have to tackle a problem like that, and now they're looking for help.
Well, that's just it. It's not common knowledge to them,
Right.
and I would rather help them and to be safe. And look, if you're sitting here listening and going, I can't believe he's making fun of them or he's picking on them or whatever. If I'm picking on you, just be happy. I pick on everybody. I will call it as I see it. And I've not been shy about it. It's usually, I find it best to just call it out because then I can talk about it and we can, maybe I'm wrong and somebody can set me straight. I'm not wrong on the calling things out, but you know,
Mhm.
I like the
It
conversation.
makes for a good conversation.
The conversations build the information and build the knowledge and uh, those things that we kind of store in our heads. So
Mhm.
yeah, not ashamed of it, not at all.
Well, I can tell you one, and this is kind of putting myself down, but whenever I first started out setting headstones, as far as how I would place the belts underneath an
Mhm.
upright, I was just kind of distributing the weight with them. I wasn't grabbing the outside edges
Yeah.
for the most stability you could get, because at the time, whenever I thought about that, but then I thought, well, that's just going to tear up my belts, which yes, it will tear up your belts over time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just buy new belts. But that was one of those, I think I showed somebody a picture of me setting something at some convention and they said, why are you doing it that way?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I didn't know any better.
Yeah. I mean, even down to like I've seen the one that I see a lot is, and this is, I'll say this, I don't see this within the groups, within whether it's bodybuilders or the forum. I see this on companies' pages that are like these. I call them fly by nights. They're the little guys or whatever that show up and they're not involved in anything. Those guys,
Mm-hmm.
where they're like, "Oh, we've got pins in this monument," and they're like, what do we, let's be generous and say 1/2 inch pins.
Mm-hmm. They're Pinos.
It pins in name only. Yeah.
Mhm.
But they only stick up like 2 inches out of the stump and into whatever the die is. Okay. So we're going to do some real simple math real quick, just to kind of, to prove something. Okay. If something comes up 2 inches, right? And then you have a 6 or 8 inch thick die and it's a 1/2 inch pin, right? I'm going to take this a step further. It's not shear rating. What is that? That's what is the force for bend? Force for bend. It's not torque.
No, torque is rotational.
So elastic. Nah, it's usually pull to push back. Nevertheless, so if we're doing a pin, right? What is the bend strength? I'm obviously asking chat of a 1/2 inch stainless steel all thread that is 4 inches long.
Did you say shear already?
Yes, I don't think it's shear is like cut like straight forward. So the key to this is like you have a 3 foot tall stone or 2 foot tall stone or whatever, but you've got one pin in the middle of it that's a 1/2 inch pin. It sits up to 2 inches. It's 3 inches to the center line of that pin to where the pin is located. So the rotation of it allows for the pinhole to be cleared if that stone starts to fall. If your pin isn't in there enough for as that stone pivots off of from that front joint or the back joint, as it pivots and comes up, it should not be able to clear that. But the higher up it goes, the more of a fulcrum it has whenever it's bending on that, right?
Right.
So with that, a stainless steel thread, you're going to love this. Take a wild guess.
I guess as to what?
How much bend rate that pin has at 4 inches.
No, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Okay. Tell me what, let's pick a stone size. 2 by 6 by 2. What does that weigh?
Oh, what is that? Like 500 pounds, 600
Close.
pounds?
It's 2 cubic feet times 185 if it's gray, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 370 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. So at 370 pounds, you put 2 pins in it, right? That's assumed. I mean, you're like, oh, yeah. And you're going to put those 2 pins in it, and there's still just 4 inches, a 1/2 inch, or whatever. That pin can take a single one of those pins can take a load of 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So now you're at 100 pounds. Your stone's 370 pounds. Plus, whenever it changes the fulcrum, whenever you lift up. Exactly. So the pin is worthless. And if you really want to prove that to yourself and you're like, that can't be right. Think of that. That's basically the pins that we put on the bottom of a bronze, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever just like it didn't line up with your holes for your marker just right because something was off?
Always
and then you decided, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push down on this pin and bend it.
Yep.
And so that's what you're going to trust. You're going to trust the weight of that stone to.
Yeah. Now magnify that force.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And so that's kind of the point is there's a reason for these questions and a reason for all this stuff. I don't necessarily want to make somebody feel bad. You don't have to tell anybody you listen to this thing. I don't care. The point of it is I'd rather you be safe. I'd rather you be able to give you information. I'd rather if you say I'm wrong, come tell me or send me a message or call me out in public. I don't care.
Right.
Because I want to learn how to be safe, how to do it right, how to do the quality of it. You see Kaz do it to me all the time on there. You know what would be great is if you'd have told that background.
Right.
All the time.
Yep.
And
process is important. Education is importanter.
Yeah, importanter.
Mm-hmm.
How's that education working?
Swell.
Yeah, I just kind of sit there and I want to know the information so that I can do a better job. I want to be able to produce for the families I serve and make sure that they're getting a good product and a safe product. I want to make sure that what I'm doing in the cemeteries and in the public is going to last for a long time. I definitely don't want it to look like I dropped the Stonewall Jackson bronze on the ground whenever I picked it up.
Yeah, that one's a tough one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, somebody took it upon themselves to re-engineer, recreate, however you want to put it, that statue. And like, I get it, they're doing it in protest, but my gosh,
I don't think that was done in protest. If that was done in protest, you wouldn't have pictures of this.
Yeah, but the fact is, it sits in an art gallery.
Okay, because they've decided to find something to do with it. To get it to do what that did, let's be real about how this happened. I don't know this for a fact. Speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But The backside's not destroyed. The front side is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you want to bet that they hired? It was like city workers, and the city happens to have some kind of lifting equipment, and somebody picked it up and didn't know how to rig it, and it slipped out of the belts.
I don't think that happened.
Click. You don't think that happened?
No, that was purely intentional. That somebody cut it up like that and reassembled it in the yeah. Oh, where is that? Shouldn't tear down any monuments, just saying.
No. I made the offer to buy a few of them when they were off, and they said they were going to take them down.
Yeah.
I was just going to put them out here at the shop. But, yeah. So, I don't know. That's my little pedestal for now. But for whatever that's worth.
Right. It's worth a lot.
No, it's not.
It's worth a lot to those that care.
Tens of listeners.
Absolutely.
Speaking of tens of listeners, we got something in the pipe we're working on that's kind of cool.
We do. We have a collaboration potentially coming up.
Yeah. Could be fun.
Which I say potentially, it most likely will happen.
It's going to happen. It's got to get scheduled.
Right.
So we got to look at some times and dates and calendars and how the moon lines up with the stars and you know the asteroids and celestial beings. You know, what Mayan calendar is it? That kind of stuff.
Oh, that ended in 12. There's no more Mayan calendar.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, world's supposed to be done by now.
Maybe it is. Thought about that?
Well, yeah, no, there's another podcast that exists out there, and it looks like we might have a little joint sit down.
I think we're gonna do like a stunning round of Jeopardy or something like that amongst us or something like that. Trivial Pursuit would be fun.
I'm pretty good at that. Well, I know you find it hard to believe, but my mind is an absolute wealth of useless information.
I do. I find it actually funny because you and I have talked for a long time, and it is rather humorous because we've talked about your time as a farmer and what you would do on the tractor and stuff like that. Because most people think of farmers as just hayseed morons. That am I wrong?
There is that perception, yes.
Yeah. But with as much time as you've told me you've spent on the tractor reading, and not just, and I don't mean like Clifford the Big Red Dog books,
Yeah. It's a very engaging read, by the way.
It was the Berenstein Bears. So, but it's funny because farmers tend to have a lot of stored information. Y'all just talk funny.
Very true. Well, it's one of those, especially being a farmer. And my dad, he said it best one time that farming is not just what it seems like on the outside. It's, of course, you have to have an in-depth knowledge of crop sciences. You have to have, of course, just like any other business owner, you have to have a very good handle on accounting practices. You have to understand mechanics. Of course, the best way you ever put it that we don't farm for a living, we borrow money for a living and farm for a hobby. And that we truly never work for ourselves, that if you're a farmer, you're an employee of the IRS, Monsanto, and John Deere.
So where do you stand on the John Deere? You should be able to work on your own stuff.
I think that if you buy it, you should you should have full ownership of it. You should be able to do what you please with it. And unfortunately, a lot of that comes about from governmental regulations that do not allow people to work on certain things, because then it no longer fits within the window of what you would call legality, I guess, for clean air standards, things like that. But it's an absolute shame, especially in the farming industry. The all the emissions regulations and everything rolled right down onto them, and you have machines that on any given day, a lot of them they're running wide open for 12 to 15 hours a day, and it's very taxing on those systems. And whenever those systems starts to fail, then you like keystone pieces of equipment that are imperative to your operation, all of a sudden they're sitting there sidelined because of some little finicky sensor. It decides it doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do that day.
Yep. I tell you, it's funny. I've got one of our good friends. Their son is fixing to graduate from high school. Our friends are both graduates of Texas A&M, big time season ticket holders and whatnot to go to a bunch of different events. Their son is just going to go to school to become a licensed John Deere mechanic. And I'm like, they told me this, and I go, the kid's going to make more than you. and this guy's pretty well off. And he's like, "What do you?" I said, "This kid's going to make more than you." There's not many people doing it, and the equipment's still going to have to get maintained.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that kid's not dumb, so he'll start getting his hands dirty. It's not going to last long.
And of course, the tail end of my farming career was whenever the technology really started to boom with farm equipment. And I had the software on my laptop to where I could track what tractors were doing in a field. And nowadays it's gone light years ahead of that, what it's capable of. Because whenever I was in it, of course, we had the RTK guidance on our tractors, and it would you'd have to still sit there and watch things, but for the most part, you're just sitting there as a rider.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's been a lot of accidents caused because of that, because whenever that came out, of course, there was no obstacle avoidance built into any of this. And you'd have guys just fall asleep. And in some instances, there was one that I personally knew of to where they ran two tractors head to head. And both guys just were not paying attention. And that's a nice little mistake. Or another one that he was plowing a field, and again, guidance was driving the tractor, and his plow hooked a major transmission tower and pulled that down in the middle of the field.
I'm sure that was cheap.
Just material costs, probably. You know.
Yeah, it's like cutting a fiber line.
Yeah, the colorful spaghetti line.
Yeah. Man, look what I found in this dirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dig test. So
811, call it.
Call before. Oh man, what do you got going on? Anything good?
I finally have an off weekend to where I don't have to do anything. I'm looking forward to it, which probably means something's going to come up.
Probably.
Yeah. Which you're going to go watch Banana Ball, aren't you?
We are. I'm excited about this.
I was scrolling through Facebook a while ago. I thought it was going to be at Bluebell.
No.
It's going to be at Kyle Field, which I saw the dimension of the field, which that's going to make for some interesting play.
Yeah, if you're a right-handed hitter, you're sending them nonstop. If you're a left-handed hitter, man, the RBIs the RBIs are going to be hard to come by.
Which potentially, I don't know if they're erecting a fence out there, if they're just going to leave it open, but you could see some in the park home runs if you are a left-handed hitter.
Because you're throwing it 100 yards. Yeah, so we've got we're going to be on the first base side. So it almost not all the way down. We're pretty far out there, but we're on the first run of decks, like we're 5 rows back from the field, but it's like way the crap down.
Right.
There are better seats than what we have, but it'll be fun. I'm excited, and the weather's gonna be great. Well, it's pouring down rain right now, and just absolutely stupid, and has been for let's say 3 days. I think this is the 3rd day of nonstop rain. We are. It should be like high of 70 tomorrow. No rain.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Since it is at A&M, do you think that the A&M baseball traditions will still happen?
Oh, it's already been talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, the ball 5 chant,
Ball five,
the bubbles. Yeah. But we should be hearing that. It's going to be heard all over campus this weekend because so you've got Banana Ball across the street. Aggie baseball is playing Auburn. Go down a little bit further, and the girls' softball team is playing OU.
Oh, wow.
So, lot of bats going on this weekend here in Aggie Land. So it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited.
That'll work.
We do have James and I have a little bet going on as to, typically with Banana Ball, they'll have a bunch of different celebrities show up, right? We do know that Russell Wilson will be here.
Okay.
For the football guy, the quarterback for Seahawks. I think he was the Seahawks.
Okay.
But I told him I think that it makes sense that Dude Perfect would show up.
Without a doubt.
So they're already kind of do the trick shot stuff anyway. Not kind of, that's what they do. That's what they're known for. And they're from here. You kind of get all of it together. It makes sense. So I think that's going to be something we expect to see. I do know that they did their first surprise pop-up game yesterday.
Yep.
At a high school down the street, like Navasota. So it's literally the town just south of here, 20 minutes from my office. And what was crazy was they announced it at like 3:00. It's first come, first serve, 1,000 people. That's it. And it was free tickets. Mm-hmm. And it was packed. It was packed, an event. It was crazy. All American Rejects played a show at the end of it there.
Yep.
Insane. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see how it goes. I would say this is going to be my first down weekend, but it won't. I'm going to have to wait till next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend I'm going to Galveston.
Oh yeah, what for?
Kennedy's last cheer competition for the season.
Oh, you passing through here?
I have no idea how we're going there yet.
Yeah. I've got cold beer in the fridge.
There you go. You can just come on down to Galveston and dip your feet in the Gulf of America.
Well, I understand that. I have no problem with that. I grew up down there.
Mm-hmm.
Not interested. I'm all right.
Yep.
I'd rather have a Airbnb over on Bolivar. Less people.
There you go.
So y'all staying at the Galvez or San Luis?
Wherever the cheer comp's going on. That's all I know about.
Oh, the bring your own sheet suites?
No.
Low Costa?
It's not that bad. It's not one of those you got to take the desk chair and prop it up against the door before you go to bed. I know it's not that bad.
So it's a high end joint. One of those where the pillow mint runs to you.
Right. That's quick service.
Yeah, that pillow mint. I've seen them fly too. It's crazy. So,
other than that,
other than that, that's about all we got going on. So we got some stuff coming up. I think we've got a couple interviews that we're working on as well. That'll be pretty good. So we'll have to figure out this next one. You think we can force MBNA to use our music, our intro music?
Oh, that's one thing that we hadn't even discussed.
Yeah.
I think the idea came from us, so obviously.
I think so. I think we're going to try something here. We just why not? Why not?
Right.
I mean, even if they say no, it's not like we don't have boombox and microphones.
Right. I mean, I don't know. That's something to figure out.
So, anywho, on that note, y'all have a good one.
Have a good weekend.
With Tony Watson.